Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Super Metroid Randomizer accessible tournament match. Today we have Diddy Kong versus Pizza. So this will be a really good matchup. Both of these runners are very, very good runners. Really looking forward to watching this one. I believe that both of these runners are 2-1. So one of these runners will be 2-2, and one of them will be 3-1 after this. I wouldn't want to face the 2-2 runner in the 2-2 bracket at that point. That would be a pretty rough matchup, but yeah. Should be a good matchup today. Yeah, Pizza. Pizza does a lot of randomizer. I know that he's been doing a lot of the weekly races. I think he's been a part of setting them up over on the Varia side of things. Does Varia weekly randomizers every Saturday. I think at like 3 and 5 Eastern, something like that. And then Diddy has been a part of the Randomizer League and both of the previous SMRAT tournaments. So he also has a lot of randomizer experience. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what this match brings us. I'm curious if either of these runners feel like the other is the favorite, and if that'll affect any of their decisions today. Could see them deciding to do something a little bit different than what they normally would do, to try to do something different from their opponent. But I think that if I were these runners, I would probably... Their skill level is probably pretty similar. Yeah, I do think that Pizza is probably a slight favorite, but I think that both of these runners are good enough that they should just kind of do what they want to do and try to win that way. I think that people tend to overplay how much they need to try to make differences in their routes from their opponent when they're playing someone better. Because I think the route divergence just kind of naturally happens. People just will make different decisions at different points. So just playing the best game that you can is, I think, the way that you should normally play randomizers, even when you're playing against someone better than you. But that's a little bit more on randomizer philosophy. I know some people feel a little bit differently than I do on that. And it also depends on how much better your opponent is than you are. But yeah, do we think that we'll see an early Gravity, early Varia, early Suit Sadal? How long do we think it'll take before we find a suit? I'm gonna say that we'll find a suit at Red Tower. That'll be our first suit. 9 minutes? So that'll probably be around Big Pink, somewhere around there. Depending on whether we get early power bombs. Okay, looks like both runners have readied up, and the gate has just been dropped. So we should be getting started in a few seconds. Well, it'll probably be a little bit longer on the restream, but should be getting started shortly. And we are off. Looks like Diddy getting a little bit of a head start, probably has a little bit less stream lag. That's a great sprite from Diddy. I haven't seen that one. That's pretty cool. Actual Diddy Kong sprite. That's another Super Nintendo game. So yeah, that's a really cool sprite. I like that. Let's see if either runner elects to use Moonfall. It looks like Diddy will not be using Moonfall, and Pizza will. So that'll give Pizza a slight edge in this early going. Saves about 4 seconds down that down the climb. Both heading down the elevator. So we're going to be finding our Morph Ball on the Morph Pedestal, as that's the only item that can be there. And then after that, we'll have to see what we get. Yeah, Pizza needs a pizza slice Sprite. But if any, I like that Morph Ball animation too. It's a little Diddy. Yeah, Donkey Kong Country is one of my favorite games on the Super Nintendo as well. So, pretty cool to see the sprite from that in Super Metroid. Although it's not exactly stylistically fitting. Yeah, power bombs at Awakening Missiles, so we'll be able to check a lot of different items. We'll be able to check Billy Mays, we'll be able to check behind Morph, we'll be able to check Old Mother Brain. And if we don't find any more power bombs, they'll have to refill before checking 230 missiles. But should be able to make all of those checks at some point. Ooh, and we found high jump boots at Billy Mays. That's a really nice find. Can mess up some early game movement, but overall, and Spring Ball. What a stacked Billy Mays. So high jump and Spring Ball, the first thing I think of is Suitless. Because both of those items are really useful for that. But that's just because I'm kind of crazy, and I like Suitless a lot. Otherwise, Spring Ball will still be useful in a couple of different ways, especially if they don't find speed. Can help getting out of Lore and Repair if you only have 5 power bombs. It can help getting through Bot Wound's maze if you don't have speed. And it just generally helps you not to soft lock as well in a lot of different places. Just got missiles behind Morph Ball, so nothing exciting there. They'll have one more check before they go to Bomb Chorizo. That'll be Old Mother Brain. Diddy picking up his missiles. So we'll see what the runners opt to do with these high jump boots in these early rooms. I think the Pitless is one of the harder rooms with high jump. I think the climb is not too bad if you put a little bit of work into it with high jump boots. I'd imagine that the sprite will probably change with both Speed Booster and the suits, but we'll have to wait and see. Pizza opting to do the right side climb. Typical way of getting up the climb. Yeah, gap skips are actually a lot more useful when you got the high jump boots because they don't mess with your gap skips at all in that pitless room. Diddy also doing the wall climb? And we have just a missile at Bomb Chorizo. So Pizza will have to Alcatraz escape to get out of here. Shouldn't be an issue, although with high jump it is a little bit more difficult. But Pizza gets it first try, no problem. Diddy will be finding that missile as well. And Pizza going back to the ship to refill power bombs. Can't continue without any power bombs, so he needs to refill at the ship. I imagine he'll go to 230 missiles before going through Terminator. And I expect Diddy to do the same. Nice Alcatraz escape from Diddy as well. And we'll see what's at 230 missiles. It is charge beam. Interesting. So with an early charge, at least for me, I like to stop picking up missiles. I still like to continue picking up supers until I find at least one more beam. But I definitely don't like picking up missiles anymore after finding that charge. And we'll take a look at what's at Terminator now. And it is more power bombs. So if we find something good at the back of Gauntlet, we can just turn around and go back through the Gauntlet if we want to. It also just makes Big Pink much easier to navigate, as you don't have to worry about... Oh, pizza. You want to kill that? Yeah. Is a missile and X-ray. X-ray might be useful in the seed if we find plasma, but it's not something that I would expect them to go back for. Ooh, I like that spring ball jump from pizza there. Conserving momentum. And I think that spring ball is a really nice time for conserving momentum in general. Ooh, and Diddy going back. So he's going to be going through Gauntlet. If we find something good at the front of Gauntlet, this will be huge for Diddy. Pizza will be checking Brinstar Reserve and Rome Pupil. And it's just 2 E-tanks so far. Diddy taking a save as well as refilling power bombs here. More super missiles at Rome Pupil. Diddy could also check mode, but I don't expect that. It's possible though. Ooh, a nice wall jump there from Diddy. That's a really tough wall jump with high jump boots. And if I were... Oh, and there's plasma, so this X-ray is actually going to be pretty good. If I were Diddy, I would be turning off high jump boots here as well. Gauntlet with high jump boots on is much more difficult than Gauntlet without. And it's just so easy to die in Gauntlet. Like, one dip in this acid for a little bit too long, and you're just dead. It does a lot of damage. But if Diddy's used to it with high jump, then it does save a little bit of time not to turn it off. And there is ice. Wow. Just supers at the front of Gauntlet. So Gauntlet kind of paying off for Diddy because of that X-ray in the back, but probably overall not quite worth it. Uh-oh, Diddy. Okay. Didn't have power bomb selected, so... And that is... That is almost correct. Well, I guess Suasperdia technically is doable now. It would be very difficult without grapple beam, though. Yeah, and I like Diddy just going. Don't really need to worry about farming health too much. I don't like not picking up those missiles. We've already got charge beam. Don't need the missiles. So Pizza heading into Big Pink. We'll see what's over here. Just got a missile at Mission Impossible. Yeah, Diddy got charge beam. Oh, and there is Varia. So this could be super interesting if we find grapple quickly. Because with Ice Plasma, you don't need more ammo. And if you find grapple quickly, you've got all of the components for Suitless Meridia, and you've got a ton of checks left. So there's a huge incentive to try to skip all of these checks and go straight into Suitless Meridia. Yeah, if he double spring ball jumps, if he snail climbs, if he does all of that kind of stuff. I don't know how much slower Suitless Meridia is with all of that stuff, but it might still be worth it. Yeah, and Coliseum is a real pain with that too. Have to freeze the Metroids, Mocktroids. I'm really hoping that we find a grapple beam and can see some suitless action. Because this would be a jet seed if you can do suitless and you find grapple. Especially with that spring ball, so you don't even need to worry about the Dragon fight quite as much. More supers that charge missiles, and just missiles that charge. So nothing more in Big Pink really for Pizza, but that Varia suit will probably push him down, I'd imagine. Oh, and there's Space Jump, so that takes care of the Coliseum problem. So if you want to do suitless without grapple, that being said, I wouldn't imagine many runners would want to do suitless without grapple. And Pizza checking X-ray. I would be really tempted to skip this check. This seed feels so fast. I wouldn't want to give my opponent like a minute edge by checking X-ray. And maybe they don't check it. But given where Diddy is, I think it ends up being worth it for Pizza, although it's just a missile, so nothing good at X-ray. Yeah, that is true. Space Jump does unlock that, so if you want to follow the logic somewhat, doing that wouldn't be too bad. And this is actually kind of a rough spot, I feel like, for... Well, I would be feeling kind of bad in Pizza's position, just because I already have literally everything I want. The only thing I want is either grapple or gravity. Because you got Charge Ice Plasma, supers aren't really useful, missiles aren't really useful, power bombs aren't useful, energy tanks are kind of useful. Wave Beam would be pretty good, Screw Attack would be pretty good, and Speed would be pretty good, but like, outside of those very few items, there really is nothing else that you really want. Did he gain that Wave Gate second try? And Diddy making his way out of Big Pink. So Diddy could make some different decisions. Diddy could decide to go reverse meme route. Um, although, no, never mind. They got early power bombs. That wouldn't make any sense. But he could decide to go up red tower. Or he could just decide to go down. He could decide to skip X-ray if he goes down. But we'll see what he does. I wouldn't be shocked to see him go up, because I feel like he might think that Pizza went down, and that Pizza didn't check Gauntlet. He might be feeling behind, and feel like he needs to make a different decision. But he just heads down. He does skip X-ray, so that's gonna save him some time on Pizza there. And an E-Tank, a Frog Pocket. Diddy electing to pick up that reserve. He might be thinking he wants to go into Lauren Warfare sooner than later. So picking up that reserve for safety there would make sense. Power bombs at item E and supers at the missile location. Neither of those are really what Pizza wants. And we've got missile. It looks like Pizza will be picking up those supers. I don't blame him for picking up. Oh, never mind. Just check it. Oh, there goes that. I don't blame him for picking them up. I think that a lot of people like to have 30 supers for Ridley. And having a few extra supers just to be able to use is not bad. And I like this from Pizza. Pizza not checking Ice. Ice isn't in Logic yet. It's a long check. You need speed for it to be in Logic, so speed can't be there. Gravity could be there if speed is somewhere else that puts it into Logic, but... And Pizza checking this from behind. Just finds a missile, so won't be getting that. Diddy taking Kraid to prom. Kraid not cooperating, opening his mouth. Kraid down for Diddy, as Pizza is checking Norfair Reserve. And I like picking up the C-Tank from Pizza. You're very likely to be doing a lava dive soon. So you want that energy, and you really want that energy in Lauren Warfare. Even if you pick up Gravity, you would still probably want that energy for Lauren Warfare. Without Screw, Lauren Warfare can be pretty tricky. You can switch the audio if you want. Normally, the runner who's in front does have the audio, but it's not a big deal either way. And Pizza heading into Lauren Warfare. Checking that Bubble Mountain missile location. Just finds supers there, so not going to be picking those up. So this is good routing from Pizza if there's nothing at Bubble Mountain. If there's something at Speed or Wave Beam that would make Lauren Warfare faster, this could end up actually slower than checking those items before going to Lauren Warfare, even though it's overall faster routing. Oh, missing that wall jump once. Gets it the second time. And the Pizza is through the lava deck. Nicely done. So I expect that we'll see Pizza use a lot of his supers before Ridley, probably to take out these pirates. Seeing as he doesn't have speed, he can't do the new route worst room in the game strat. Doesn't have screws, so he can't screw through them either. Oh, and that power bomb's a little bit too far to the left. Yeah, it only took out 3 of those pillars. Pizza realizes that and just uses the second one safely instead of trying to put it super close to the other pillar. It looks like Pizza will be using Charged Ice Plasma to take out these pirates. That's pretty fast, too. And he might try to just not take out this pirate. Makes it through. Nicely done. It's a little bit scary not to take out some of the pirates, just because one hit takes 100 damage. And 100 damage is a lot when you've only got 5. Ooh, no. Pizza needs to... Pizza. Oh, no. Pizza's back out. Oh my god. Pizza! No! Oh, no. Pizza takes a death, and I don't think that he's saved. Yeah, he didn't save at all. That is very unfortunate. He almost got out of it, too. Just fell down instead of, landing on the ledge. Yeah, he was pretty far ahead. Diddy would have made back a little bit of time with that X-ray, having a lot faster boss fights, and a lot of things could have still happened. So he wasn't in a completely commanding position or anything, but yeah, he was definitely ahead at that point. Diddy was going for the quick entry into the lava dive, but couldn't quite get it. It would be kind of funny if we saw Diddy take a death as well. No, I would never wish that upon anyone, but... And Diddy is taking a save, so he'll still be ahead even if he takes a death. So with Pizza knowing that there's Charged Plasma coming up, Pizza actually, this... As bad as this is for Pizza, it could be worse. Because he knows where the items are, he'll know that he doesn't need to pick up, almost any supers. I don't think that anyone checked GT. He won't need to pick up any supers. He'll know where all of the items are at. He'll be able to skip most item checks. He'll still get the Charged Plasma Ice. Diddy gets through worst room in the game. Yeah, I've seen some GT checks pay off, but it is definitely very rare to see it happen. Speed sometimes is there. Diddy looks to be playing this very safely. Although that's... Okay, he made it through without getting hit by that guy. I'm curious if we'll see Pizza go through Gauntlet after finding those power bombs. He might feel like he needs to make a real big play, and he knows that X-Ray's at the back of Gauntlet, so that it's not like a complete waste of time to do it. He might feel like he needs something like Gravity to be at the front of Gauntlet to win, though, after taking that death. And he might feel like that Diddy was very unlikely to have gone back and do it. So I'll expect that we see, yep, skipped GT. And we'll see what Pizza elects to do here. If I were Pizza, I would think about going something like 15-10. Or maybe like 20. 15-15, something like that, in terms of supers/missiles. And just kind of trying to skip as much as possible. I think he'll probably get the E-Tanks from Star Reserve still. And this is a pretty dangerous fight for Diddy here. He should be fine with all of the supers that he has, but it really does a lot of damage when you don't have Gravity Suit. Yeah, really liking Pogo. And Diddy is through his Ridley fight. Nicely done. And let's see what's behind Ridley. Is it bombs? It is just a missile. Honestly, I don't think that I really would have checked Ridley there. Wave Beam can't be there, Speed can't be there, Screw can't be there, Bombs can't be there, and Gravity can't be there, and Grapple can't be there. Or Bombs can be there, but all those other ends cannot be there, so... I'm not exactly sure what he was looking for. Maybe he wanted an E-Tank, actually. Maybe that's what he was looking for. An E-Tank would make sense. Pizza re-picking up that Ice Beam. And getting that third pack of Power Bombs. That'll probably be the last pack he wants to pick up. And I can't imagine they'll go back around. They'll probably just head on out. Yep. Heading out of Edicoons. And now I expect that he'll pick up that Varia and the Space Gem. And I don't remember if there were any E-Tanks in Big Pink. But I would expect that he would pick up any of those as well. Pizza died in Amphitheater. Got stuck in the acid. With only Varia. Let's see what's at Firefleet. It's just a missile. But Diddy elects to pick it up. So you get Pizza heading straight for that Varia. Not even picking up the third missile pack. And Diddy's going to need to be a little bit careful heading out of Lornofer here. Because everything does basically 100 damage, or all the key hunters do. Oh, and there's Grapple. Interesting. Wow. So, that is super interesting, because if Diddy is able to Sueless Meridia, he could go pick up that Grapple and he's in go mode. If he can't, then... But he's going to pick it up. I think the only reason to pick that up is if you're going to do Sueless. Yeah, this is a little bit different than Randall League Suitless, though. If you're doing Suitless in this, you're doing full Suitless. In Randall League, you only need to do Suitless up to Baboon. So a lot of people can't do that Dragon Escape. Although, with Space Jump and with Spring Ball, you don't actually need to know Dragon Escape, you just need to go to Crystal Flash Suit and then spark out of Dragon's room. And then you can Spring Ball jump out of Precious. So, he's got actually Suitless on easy mode here. And I'm curious if we'll even see any more checks from Diddy. One of the benefits of doing Suitless is that you can just like skip all of the rest of the checks. And that's the biggest advantage of Suitless, because Suitless, it's not like super slow, but it's a few minutes slower than doing it without Suitless would be. So if you're still checking items and then doing Suitless, normally you're just going to kind of check off the items and eventually find Gravity anyway. But you kind of want to skip... Oh, Diddy was in a little bit of trouble there, but got through. Yeah, it's too bad if Diddy does do Suitless, that we won't get to see... We won't get to see what his Gravity suit looks like. Yeah, he had the reserve, but he might have gotten double hit with the reserve and still died. So Diddy's coming up here. I wonder if he's farming. Nope, he's actually checking the items. Okay. But he did skip wave, so that's a huge sign that he is not going to be checking much more. Another super pack. I almost would have picked that up, just so you don't have to farm supers. Picks up the 5th Power Bomb pack. I don't know that I really agree with this. Even if you want the Crystal Flash suit from Dragon, 20 should be plenty of Power Bombs. Although maybe he doesn't want to farm Power Bombs, so that would make sense too. And there's an E-Tank at... I don't know what that room's called. Spiky room with the side hoppers in it. And yeah, I like this from Diddy a lot. Farming back up. If you're going into Suitless, you want to have at least one Crystal Flash available. Yeah, the Diddy sprite is excellent. Yeah, I think the pizza figured if you get an early Varia, you're very likely to go down, so now he wants to do something completely different from that. He wants to hope that this is an incredibly trolly seed, and it will take Diddy a very long time to get back up here and to find the Varia suit, or the Gravity suit. Okay, Diddy is farmed to full, and we'll see, hopefully, a Suitless. Yep, Diddy is completely skipping wave, so I completely expect him to go straight into Suitless from here. Oh yeah, Beta Power Bombs. I should know that, and I do know that, but I completely forgot, so... So, under normal circumstances, only having 4 E-Tanks for Suitless Meridia would be a little bit scary. But because Diddy doesn't actually need to do the normal Dragon strat, where if you didn't have Spring Ball, you would need to do a slightly different Dragon strat. He should be completely fine with just 4 E-Tanks and a reserve. Pizza looks at the front of Gauntlet and resets. Oh, okay. The sprite is kind of messing me up. Diddy's. Oh, and he doesn't get the quick entry. That's a little bit too bad. Yeah, I couldn't tell if that was good or not from Diddy, and it was just a little bit too far to the right. So with Spring Ball, that's not too bad. He can just Spring Ball jump through this room. Yeah, Spring Ball makes Sulis Meridia way, way easier. Gravity could still be a wave. Diddy didn't check wave. I'm kind of surprised that he checked speed at all, even. I kind of thought he was just going to use the speed way to farm instead. Looks like Diddy is going to try to use the freeze strats here instead of the... That's a little bit too high. I think at this point he's probably just going to give up, yeah, and do the Spring Ball jump. And this is why Spring Ball is such a nice suitless item. If you ever mess up, you can just resort back to Spring Ball jumping and not lose too much time. Find an E-Tank at Crab Supers. Yeah, I think that the palette swaps are super cool. But yeah, I can imagine they would probably mess me up a little bit too much to be worth it. Nice grapple jumps from Diddy here. Grappling it from the side like that is a lot faster. It means that Samus maintains her momentum a lot better. Or Diddy in this case. But it's also a lot harder to grapple it from the side because if you miss, it's a lot easier to miss than grappling it diagonally. And I like the save a lot from Diddy. Actually, with Space Jump, it's a lot less necessary. But it's still not a bad idea to save here. Before this, Diddy did take a save before entering Lord Warfare. But that was the first save since then. And Diddy will be doing a grapple jump here. Once Samus comes off of a grapple hook location like this, you can unmorph and morph. And Samus will continue to jump like this. Yeah, Space Jump makes Coliseum so much nicer. It is significantly faster. Like, it doesn't just make it easier, it makes it way faster too. With this loadout, Sulis Meridia, I think, is only like 3 minutes slower than Meridia with Various Suit and this exact item loadout. Optimally. Of course, when you're doing Sulis Meridia, it's very easy to mess stuff up. It's very easy, and it loses a lot of time to mess stuff up. Oh, and there's Gravity. So, if Diddy doesn't mess up, Diddy still is in the lead. But Diddy really needs to not mess up now. Because that Gravity is a huge find for Pizza. Pizza's just going to be able to go. He doesn't need to worry about looking for anything else. Yeah, and Diddy will need to get this missile. It's, I think, technically possible to avoid it with Suitless, but it is significantly slower than just picking it up. It will be really funny if Diddy finds that gravity. But I can't imagine he would check anything coming out of Brick Ship. At this point, the only thing that would be worth it for him would be Speed Booster. Actually, he might want another E-Tank. 4 E-Tanks for Mother Brain with only Varia is not super comfy. Then he messed up a little bit by killing the Metroids instead of freezing them, but still fine. Gravity is left side supers. So Pizza went down first, just like Diddy did, and he did Lava Dive to get into Lorn Warfare and ended up dying in Amphitheater. So after that, he went up Red Tower and found that Gravity just a little bit ago at left side supers. Whereas Diddy found Grapple in Lorn Warfare at the jail item and elected to do Suitless Meridia, which I like a lot. As long as Diddy doesn't mess up, he should still be significantly ahead. But if he messes up a few times on this, then Pizza could catch up. Okay, so he's just going to X-Ray and then grapple out and spring jump out of Precious Room. So as long as he doesn't mess up the grapple jump, he's fine. Doesn't quite kill Dragon the first X-Ray. He was one shot off, that's too bad. Picks up the energy just for some safety. And we'll be grapple jumping out now. Oh. Messed that up a little bit. I wonder if the sprite is messing him up at all with this grapple jump. He's morphing just a little bit too slow. So Diddy has a lot of attempts at this. He has 2 crystal flashes available to him. There he goes. Easy. He could also double spring ball out, although I think that's a lot more difficult. Pizza getting revenge on this Amphitheater. Not yeah, puts a super into the ground there. Not gonna die there again. Yep, Diddy doing some spring ball jumps to get out of Precious. And once he's out of Precious and Coliseum, then he is pretty much free home. He's just gotta go kill Fantoon, and then finish the game. I wonder if he will be looking for more E-tanks. He found bombs. Looks like he's going to be picking that up. If he can get there. Yep. Yeah, Pizza had to start completely over. With this seed, it's a little bit less bad to do that than it would be normally. And Diddy taking another save in case he falls in Coliseum. In this scene, it's a little bit better than it normally would be because we knew where Charge, Ice, Plasma, Space, High Jump, Varia, and Spring Ball were. So he could basically just get those items, get like 15, 15, 15 on ammo, and a few E-tanks, and not have to worry too much about it. But it's still a huge setback anytime you die. Especially when you die like 20, 25 minutes in, like he did. Oh, and Diddy going through this way. This is actually a little bit slower, I believe, to get to Phantoon. Because he's not going to be checking Plasma. He doesn't want to check Plasma. The reason this is faster in categories like RBO is because you go to Plasma. Because you want that Plasma Beam. But because it's randomizer, he doesn't really want to check that Plasma Beam location. So this is actually a little bit slower. And Ridley down for pizza. Yeah, a lot of those wall jumps without gravity are really annoying. Yeah, and this room is kind of a pain without screw attack that Diddy is going through. All the enemies kind of get in your way if you don't have screw attack. I think that Diddy may very well check left side supers. He might check left side supers and spooky missiles looking for an E-tank. Because Mother Brain with 4 E-tanks, even with the reserve, is a little bit scary with Varia. You can't take any... well, you could probably take 1 catch-up, but you would not be able to get double hit by that catch-up, so... Might play it a little bit safe and check those locations and find his gravity suit. Diddy falling down a little bit. So Pizza did not kill Kraid on his way through because he just wanted to go to Lord Warfare first. There's no reason to kill Kraid first. There's no reason not to either, but it really doesn't matter whether you decide to kill Ridley or Kraid first. So you just decide to leave Kraid for after Ridley. I guess it's a very slightly better to leave Kraid for after, just in case you find speed. Because if you find speed in War and Warfare, then Kraid's a little bit faster. And you know that you're not going to find anything in Kraid that helps War and Warfare. So I guess this decision was slightly better for Pizza. Yeah, and the super refill. That's a little bit less important, but because he has charged plasma ice. He can just use that for bosses instead of supers if he wants, but yeah, refilling supers is still nice for Babu. And if I were Pizza, I might actually just use that for the bosses, that charge ice plasma. Mostly to conserve supers for Torian. Diddy takes out Fantoon. We'll see if he checks that left side supers. He does not. Okay, so he will not find his gravity. Hopefully he takes a save before Mother Brain, because that's the last thing that could get him. Yeah, Pizza died in Amphitheater about 20 minutes in or so. For those just getting here. But both of these runners were taking about the same route when he died. Both were going down, and then after the death, Pizza decided to go up instead and found gravity at left side supers. I'm not even sure I would say a few minutes ahead. It might have been like a minute and a half. They were actually pretty reasonably close. But Pizza died in Amphitheater. He didn't have gravity suit and he got stuck in the acid. Almost got out, but got knocked back in. Yeah, this will be a very good time for Pizza. Given his death. He was entering Lord Arthur. He was at the lava dive when Pizza died. If I'm remembering correctly. I might be misremembering, though. Diddy playing this very safe. I think that Metroids actually do the same amount of damage whether you have gravity or not. Just the only difference is whether you have barrier or not. But Diddy playing these Metroids very safe anyway. And Diddy makes it through the Metroid rooms. We'll see if Diddy attempts a high jump or a speedless baby skip. I wouldn't blame him for just damaging down. It's pretty tough to do the speedless baby skip. Looks like he's going for it though. Yeah, no wave either. Oh, now he's damaging down a little bit. Maybe he was thinking about going for it and then realized that he didn't want to. Oh, he's actually gonna... Nope. Never mind, he baited me by jumping like that. I like that animation. That's a really good animation for that scene. I couldn't tell if he was looking back. That's a good question, though. Week to week. Gotta save those 40 frames. Oh, Pizza just barely wasn't able to get that last shot in Dragon. think it'll just need one more. Yep, Dragon down for pizza. And we'll see if Diddy takes the save. He does not. Okay. So like I was saying, Mother Brain is not a joke. This is a pretty tough fight. Or, I wouldn't say it's tough, but one mistake will kill Diddy. So hopefully, he can make it through. And okay. Mother Brain 1 down. So any catch-up will kill Diddy, I think. He's got a reserve tank, so I guess if the catch-up doesn't double hit, he's still fine. But a double hit catch-up will be the end of him. A bunch of onion rings might kill him as well. Although he'll probably be fine with just one serving of onion rings. No, he won't be fine because... So the catch-up does 200 damage per hit instead of 100. So it would be 400 damage total. But he made it through. And yep, he does not need a damage down. Because if you don't have gravity and you have Varia, as long as you're under something like 170-something health, then this cutscene just continues and Mother Brain doesn't damage you down. So that's good to know, because if you only have Varia, it's very, very easy to take way too much damage on Mother Brain and just kill yourself. So try to damage down to less than 170 and then just be done damaging down. So this should be about a 101 from Diddy, if I had to guess. 101.30 maybe, somewhere in that range. 101.30, 101.40. But this will also be an excellent time for pizza given the death. For pizza, this should be about a 107, 108. Probably more of a 107. So he shouldn't be finishing too far behind, actually, in spite of the death. I'm gonna, in the interview, if Pizza elects to join us, I'm definitely gonna ask him if he would have done suitless when he found the grapple beam, or if he even would have checked jail missiles in the first place, or if he just would have continued and checked all of Norfair. Basically what he was planning to do after War Warfare. Diddy finishing off Mother Brain 3. And if I remember correctly, I think that Diddy is French, so I don't remember if his English is fantastic. I think that normally he declines to do interviews because of that, but I'll ask to see if we can get him in after this anyway. Oh, unfortunately, Pizza gets grabbed by Metroid. Just opts to reset the room. Just speak French. Unfortunately, I took Spanish in my high school language classes. Not that I can speak any of that still anyway. Oh, and Pizza gets screwed by Metroid drops, it looks like. He's still at just 20 and 5. So that's technically enough to finish the game, I think. but he'll have to missile all of the doors and then refill. And with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 1 minute, and 53 seconds, Diddy Kong has finished in first place. It looks like Pizza is... Okay, he's gonna continue. Needs to missile everything and then come back. Actually, does he even have enough? Is this one missile short? Let me think. So 20 plus 5. Yeah, that's one missile short. Oh no. Pizza is soft locked. Yeah, he could missile each individual Zeb and go back and refill afterwards. Um, but he can't break the glass completely, I don't think. Okay, so because I think that yeah, I think that you only need 3,000 damage on Mother Brain if you break the glass completely. Yeah, we'll ask them to get in for an interview. Reverse Zeb skip is not a thing, so you need to missile the first Zeb, go refill, missile the second Zeb, go refill, missile the third Zeb, go refill, missile the fourth Zeb, go refill, then completely break the glass on Mother Brain with just missiles, go refill, and then you could kill Mother Brain 1. Okay, it looks like we will have Diddy Kong coming in. At least Diddy Kong. We'll see if Pizza wants to join as well. Yeah, I guess you do have a super to spare on the glass, so you could use... But I don't think that supers matter for the glass, so you could use them for one of the Zebatites. Gonna ask him in the chat anyway to see if he would have done suitless. Yeah, I think that he did say no to the interview. Oh, I didn't see where speed was either. Okay, he said that he probably would have looked for grab anyway, even with that. Um, Even with the grapple beam being there. I'm really curious how this race would have played out if Pizza had not taken that death. I think it would have been really, really interesting to see with one runner doing suitless and the other electing to try to find gravity. And we are joined by Diddy Kong. GG, Diddy.
Thanks.
So yeah, that was a really interesting seed. Um, it gave you pretty much everything except gravity pretty early.
Yeah, it was so free. I couldn't believe when I found Space Jump in Green Hill, and I already had so much stuff before. So I was really thinking, okay, gravity must be buried somewhere really deep. So yeah, at that point, I was thinking if I ever found grapple, I would probably go suitless.
Yep. Mhm. Yeah, that's definitely the decision I would have made as well. um, but yeah, I love seeing people do suitless, so I'm really glad that you did. You got to show that off. Yeah, so after you found that grapple beam, you decided to check speed still.
Yeah, I wanted to have at least one extra power bomb or knee tank because 4 tank in Maridia can hurt a
Yeah.
lot.
Mhm. Yeah.
Also, I wanted to refill my super.
Yep. I was expecting you actually just to go there to get the refill, to get the farm, and then leave without even checking the items. But
Yeah, but
um,
25 power bomb is enough for 2 crystal flashes, and
yep.
I I usually never play with that sprite swap, so
Oh, yep,
I
yep. Yeah, I was talking about that actually. I wasn't sure if that was messing you up on the grapple escape at all or not.
that not that much. I was expecting to be worse than that, but muscle memory kicks in, and I did it fine in a couple of tries. But
Mhm.
I took a couple extra problem just in case I had to do crystal flash.
Yep.
And the fact that I had early X-ray, and plasma made Dragon a lot easier than if I had to grapple kill him.
Yep. And it made it so much nicer that you had Spring Ball
Oh
because
yeah.
then you don't need to worry about getting the flash suit and then the blue suit and whatnot with Dragon. You can just kind of kill with the X-ray and then grapple out and use Spring Ball jump to get out Precious. Um, but yeah, so you were like a minute and a half, 2 minutes behind Pizza when Pizza took that death. I think that you were pretty close to entering the lava dive, if I remember correctly. And Pizza
Yeah.
died in amphitheater. And
And when did he save last?
he didn't save it all.
Oh,
Um,
that hurts.
so taking a death on any seed, especially that far in, is really rough. But this seed is a little bit less rough than normal, just
Yeah.
there
Because yeah, all
because there
the
was like
items are so early.
yep, exactly. So you find charge, ice, plasma. So skipping supers doesn't matter anymore. And you know where Varia is, you know where high jump is, so you can just go to those checks basically, pick up like 15 missiles, 15 supers, 15 power bombs, and not worry about picking up anything else. A few E tanks too. Um, it's still like a really huge setback, but this seed in particular, it's a little bit less of a setback than it normally would be. And after that death, Pizza elected to go up and found the gravity suit at left side supers.
Yeah. I to be frank, when I was in Red Chip, I almost hesitated to go there to check if gravity was there, just to showcase the pink gravity suit sprite.
Oh yeah, I thought that you might check there for an extra E tank because Mother Brain is a little bit trickier with just Varia.
Yeah.
The
And I
catch-ups do
forgot
a lot more
forgot
damage.
to save just before, so
Yeah, I was expecting you to take a save there too.
yeah, I planned to do that and I forgot.
But it worked out for you.
Any percent muscle memory kicked in, and I went straight to Mother Brain.
Hmm. But you ended up having a good Mother Brain fight, so you didn't need to worry about it.
Yeah, I had ketchup that didn't fire. I heard the sound of ketchup being fired, but nothing showed. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. Sometimes when there are too many sprites on the screen, that can happen. But I think that catch-up doesn't actually exist. It just kind of,
I see.
because there are too many other sprites on the screen. But yeah, you're moving up to 3-1. Is there anyone in particular that you think you want to face?
I gotta check who is still there. Three one, so Junie would be cool. I like Junie.
Yeah, that'd be a fun match to watch.
Most of the runners are great people, so I would glad
Yeah,
to face anyone.
there are a lot of really good 3-1 runners, so it should be fun to watch no matter who you place.
Sure.
But anyway, I think that we're gonna call this here. So thanks for coming in for the interview and thanks for putting on the great race.
Thanks for commentating me, us.
And I think that saying that we're gonna probably raid someone looks like Insane Firebat. So thanks everyone for watching. This has been another Super Metroid Randomizer Accessible Tournament race, and I will see you guys later.